Think back to a significant moment in your life. Your first day of school, a memorable vacation, or even what you had for breakfast yesterday. You probably feel like you can vividly recall the details, right? Like you're replaying a perfect video recording in your mind. We all tend to believe our memories are faithful archives, accurate accounts of our past. But what if I told you that couldn't be further from the truth? What if your memories, those cherished personal histories, are far more fragile, malleable, and unreliable than you ever imagined? The idea of memory as a perfect video camera is a powerful yet dangerous myth. Our brains don't record events like a digital device. They interpret, filter, and reconstruct them. If our memories were truly perfect, imagine how much simpler things would be. Courtrooms wouldn't face conflicting eyewitness testimonies. Family gatherings wouldn't dissolve into debates about who said what years ago, but they do. And these aren't just minor mix-ups. They can have profound consequences. The legal system, for example, once heavily relied on eyewitness accounts, only to find countless instances of wrongful convictions where innocent people were identified by confident yet mistaken witnesses. Instead of a camera, think of your memory more like a storyteller. Every time you recall an event, your brain doesn't just pull up a stored file. It actively reconstructs the narrative. It takes fragments of information, sights, sounds, feelings, previous knowledge, and pieces them together into a coherent story. And in the process of reconstruction, it fills in gaps, smooths over inconsistencies, and sometimes entirely invents details to make the story make sense. This isn't a conscious effort to lie, it's just how your brain works. It's trying to give you the most plausible, most coherent version of events, even if that version isn't perfectly accurate. So what makes these stories shift? Psychology has identified several key architects of alteration. One of the most famous is suggestibility. Pioneering psychologist Elizabeth Loftus demonstrated how easily our memories can be influenced. In her classic studies, participants watched videos of car accidents. Those asked, how fast were the cars going when they smashed into each other, recalled higher speeds, and even remembered seeing broken glass, which wasn't there, more often than those asked, how fast were the cars going when they contacted each other. Just a single word changed their entire memory of the event. Then there's the simple passage of time. Like an old photograph left in the sun, details fade, colors blur, and what was once sharp becomes hazy. The more time passes, the more opportunities your brain has to fill in those fading gaps with plausible but potentially incorrect information. And finally, emotion. We often think highly emotional events, like a major news event or a personal trauma, are etched perfectly into our minds. We call these flashbulb memories. But while we might remember that we experienced them and how we felt, the specific details can be surprisingly inaccurate, often distorted by our emotional state at the time. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect of memory's unreliability is the phenomenon of false memories. This isn't just about misremembering a detail, it's about genuinely believing you experienced an entire event that never happened. Loftus again showed how easy it is to plant these. In one famous study, participants were convinced they had been lost in a shopping mall as a child, an event their relatives confirmed never took place. Yet many could vividly describe the experience, even adding details. Imagine that. Your own mind, fabricating entire chapters of your life and presenting them to you as undeniable truth. It's a sobering thought that the stories we tell ourselves about who we are, where we've been, and what we've done might be partly fiction, woven together from suggestions, desires, and the brain's relentless need to create a cohesive narrative. So what does all this mean? It doesn't mean your memories are worthless or that you can't trust anything you recall. But it does mean we need to approach our own personal histories and the accounts of others with a healthy dose of skepticism. It means understanding that emotion, suggestion, and the mere passage of time can subtly, yet powerfully, reshape our past. The next time you're absolutely certain about a detail from years ago, take a moment. Ask yourself, how do I know this? Could I have been influenced? Is this memory perhaps a little too perfect? The truth is, our brains are magnificent, complex machines, but they're not infallible recorders. They are storytellers, constantly editing and refining the narrative of our lives. And sometimes, the most unsettling story they tell is the one we believe without question about ourselves.